Okay, looks like we might be up and running. All right, well, looks like we have visual. Please let me know if you can hear me. Got the mic on. Everything else should be off. I'm just gonna pop this down a little bit further. There we go. I'm slightly early. Oh, hi, Lisa. Good morning to you. Thanks for coming in. I started slightly ahead to make sure everything was going to work. So far, I was told by the Streamlabs people to do things a different way. Hi, Charlotte. Good morning. Or good evening to you. Good late afternoon to you. I'm going to work on string blocks. These ones just need finishing up. So I dug out some strips last night from my stash, and I was pressing odds and ends, different lengths, different widths. You can, of course, make these as a theme if you want. I'm just making mine totally random. Good morning, Kim. Thank you for joining. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 that are finished that aren't trimmed down to size yet. Back in May, June, I forget, I did make more of these. And I got a whole pile that are exactly the right size ready to go. And in a little bit I'll try and shift the phone around, and because I do have to trim. I've got a ton of them that are just hot mess, need trimming. Okay. Kim says she's doing string blocks too from fall and Halloween prints, using up stuff. Great plan. Charlotte says yes, it's almost evening. I've been tempted to do just Christmas at some point in time, but I have to think about it more before I decide what I want to do. And I might have to get one print for the middle that's just like the coordinating part, and everything else is all random, possibly. Let's see here. Oops. I'd like a skinny one, but yeah, that one's too short. Okay, I'll put this red skinny one on instead. I still have my walking foot on my sewing machine because I was working on that tote bag, and I was quilting lines, and just because of bulk of making the straps and everything, I just kept it on there. But it does have a quilting needle in it. I think it's a size 80. I don't use 70 for quilting. That's just regular piecing, so it'll be close enough. I'm just going to drop my stitch length down a bit, though. Make it easier to peel off the paper. And I'm eyeballing the 1/4 inch, because for this it doesn't really matter that much. Oh, hi, Siobhan. How you doing? Crossed up with Siobhan. She says, hey, Kelly, we're on a field trip to visit your live. Thanks for coming by. Okay, we'll press that back. Whoops. Ugh. I've got a light gray thread in here. It doesn't really matter, just whatever. Some random thread. And I just dropped that one. Oh, it helps if I plug the iron in. Oops. trying to make sure my visual was good, and the video's not bad. It's a little jerky, but at least it's actually working, and I can see myself, and you guys can see me. I mean, let's say thank heaven for small mercies at the moment. This may be what it's going to be. Okay, there's a little quick finger press on that one. And what was the other one I had? No, oh, it fell down. Maybe I can put the yellow one there. Yep, that's fine. That's long enough. Okay. The tote bag I was working on 2 weeks ago, it's getting close to being done. I have to make another strap. For some reason I was having a brain fart and only made one strap. I don't know why. But it doesn't matter because I'm going to actually size the next one correctly. And there goes my stuttering again. Okay, I have to make another strap and I have to make another pocket because I changed my pocket idea. I wanted it a little different and it worked better with what I had and the size I wanted. So I have to sew a few bits and bobs together to make another pocket. But basically it's ready to put together. And I'm going to use my regular method of putting bags together, which is the same way Jenny Doan did it in the Missouri Star video, not the same way it's in the pattern. I am glad about that pattern though, because it is a good visual, and I made the straps as per the pattern. I'm making notes about what I'm doing as I'm going, like the size of my bag and stuff, so I will make notes on the strap length for me. Alright, there's that one. Oh, there, I only need a tiny piece for the corner now. Give that one a press too. Okay, what's going on here? Oh, Allison has joined us. Thank you, Allison. What is everyone up to this weekend? Ours is fairly quiet. I have a Zoom tomorrow with some of my quilting friends, Brenda from Conquering Mount Scrapmore, Debbie, so with Debbie, some of you people know who they are. We're trying to drum up another collab idea, maybe. It's just, yeah, there's been emails going back and forth, and we decided, well, let's just do Zoom and chat and see if we can actually figure this out or not. So that could be coming up down the road too. But I'll let you guys know. We probably, well, I guess it depends what we got going in the next little bit, but chances are we won't do it till the new year. I don't know, maybe Brenda will be raring to go and has everything settled. You guys know how organized she is, so. Everybody knows Brenda. Right? Okay. Alright, so give me a second, because I'm going over here to press, and it's right under the phone so you won't see me. Kim says it's supposed to be cooler and rainy tomorrow and cool Sunday. I'll be sewing and doing embroidery. Oh, good plan. It's kind of cloudy right now. The sun is sort of out. It's getting windier. We're supposed to get rain. And since we're surrounded by mountains, anything above a certain elevation will be getting snow. There's that. Press this one down. That's the downside to doing stuff like this, is you're up and down pressing all the time. Get your steps in. Okay. Now, I keep a box. I have one box and one bag of strips of different thicknesses, and I keep this box of like little bits, although not all of them are that little. But it might be like wider for doing something on the corner. Gray one. Like this gray will probably fit here. One sec. Needs a pressing, but let's just eyeball it. Okay, that'll do. Give it a quick press. Left-handed, look at me. Lisa P says, Brenda is some kind of amazing. You guys have fun. I'm sure it will be, Lisa, I'm sure. The collab we did last year, the four of us, it was a little crazy, but we had a good time. I think Future Cat might be joining in from New Zealand again. They're a lot of fun. We'll see. I think Brenda was thinking of doing something like Rose, maybe? I don't know. Brenda and Debbie have apparently... It was Debbie that told me about it, because Brenda and Debbie were doing texting back and forth or emailing back and forth or something. And then that's when... Because Debbie actually called me and said, hey, what are you thinking? Do you want to do this? I'm like, well, yeah, depending on timing and what you guys want to do, I guess. You know, count me in for thinking about it anyway. A little later this morning, I gotta go across town, unless it absolutely pounds rain, then I'm not. But I'm gonna have to change my earrings. I don't know if you guys can see this good enough. I'm wearing Halloween earrings. And if it's windy, I'm not wearing these. They'll be like, woo! Okay. That will do adequately to cover that corner up. I mean, by the time I take all trim these down and trim them to size, the corners usually don't wind up that big, but whatever. Sometimes it just disappears in the seam allowance and it doesn't really matter. I'm just paranoid about having it too short, that's why. Okay, what are we going to do? Green, maybe? Does that one work there? Sure. Green it is. Lisa is hoping to tie a quilt. Have never done this before. Any tips? I have never tied a quilt ever. The late, great Donna Jordan tied one a few years back. I can't remember the quilt top. I can't remember what quilt design it was, but I know that she tied it. She showed how to do it. Yep. Charlotte, tomorrow first working, and then I have finally weekend, but what am I going to do? I don't know. Charlotte says, but I think there'll be some frogging on a whip that I'm going to stitch on. Oh no. Frogging. I was working on Haunted Halloween earlier this week. I put it away because I got tired of stitching with 722. Okay, I'm going to press again. At the moment, I dug out a few of my little ornaments that I'm stitching on. Part of, well, actually I think they're all going to wind up being my 12 Days of Craftmas. There are some of them that I do want to have completely finished and given away this coming Christmas. And some that I will just be making just to have in my stash for giving away at some other time. But I'm formulating my plan a little bit better. I decided to start it on the 12th of December and go for 12 days, which should finish up on the 23rd, if I've figured it out properly. And I made an arbitrary decision about the 12th because that is my husband's birthday. That's the only reason. Okay, what are we going to put on here? Orient green. Ooh, I know, Halloween. Or flames. Halloween. Excuse me. Oh, Allison's got a big post here. Allison says, oh, Lisa says you watched Donna's vid. Watch it again. Thank you, Kelly. You're welcome. Yeah, sorry I could not remember what the quilt top was. I thought it was a carpenter star or a log cabin or something. I just can't remember. And Allison says she ties in rows about every 5 to 6 inches apart. Yeah, that's a good idea. Does it depend on like what the quilt top is, how you tie it? Allison finished her Fox and Rabbit August, September yesterday, and then I had to start on the Tempting Tangles How Many Days Until Halloween Mystery Sale. Ooh, fun. Charlotte says it's only 20 inches that I have to 20 stitches. Oh, good Lord, I read that wrong. 20 stitches that I have to frog. But it's on 18 count Ada with 1 thread. Oh, that's tricky. Kim's getting back into cross stitch. When starting, do you start in the middle or on a row? Most of the time, Kim, I start in the middle. I guess I'm old school. I don't know. I mean, I started stitching in like the early 90s. So that's sort of what I learned like back then. Sometimes I start in the middle. Well, actually, no, I lie. Okay, here. Let's be more clear about this. I start in the middle, and then I work my way sort of mini cross country. Like I don't spread myself too far ahead. So I'll stitch my way a little bit at a time up to a point at the top, and then come back down from there, if that makes sense. That just works in my brain. And I don't do like those big full coverages or anything like that. Most of my stuff is relatively small. That one looks fine. Let's give Halloween a press. Charlotte got a page finish on Symphony today. Yay, way to go, Charlotte. Allison says you can plan a tie design, but I get out my long ruler and my blue pen. That's a good idea. Just mark the little spots. Yeah. Allison says, with the mystery, I had to start in the top left. My design is going to end up 7 inches by 8 inches, so I marked where the center is and went from there. Yeah, good idea. And Charlotte says, it depends for me, sometimes in the middle and sometimes in the left corner. Kim says, thank you, Kelly. The last time I did any, it was a little kit. Directions were starting on the bottom row, working up. Whatever works, just try it out, Kim. Everyone likes to do stuff differently, so you might try that and hate it, you know? I have some of those heat erase pens, and sometimes they mark grid lines. It depends on the chart, totally. I am marking a little bit on Haunted Halloween because I wanted to know exactly where to start the bat. Because there's a little bit of, like, blank no man's land that I had to cross, you know what I mean? So I wanted to make sure I was correct, and I've been gridding Spooky Season, the 4-panel Halloween, as I go. So I just grid down a little bit and then I stitch down a little bit. And I'm putting grid lines into that Celtic Blessing sampler because, again, there's stuff that's far away from other stuff and I don't want to mess up the counting, because I know I will mess up the counting. I know myself. I'll do it. So, and I have had 0 problems with those heat erase pens. I did the experiment and put it in the freezer and everything. Now, if you guys want to see a funny video, but scientific, Eric, Treasure Heart Creations, he actually took his cross stitch grocery shopping and put it in the freezer section of his grocery store, like hid it under some stuff, and then picked it up and took it home because the color came back from the cold. It's hilarious. But I tried it myself and it does go away. It's fine. Just put the iron on it. It's fine. And unless you are going to put your wall hanging or your Christmas ornament or your frame cross stitch or whatever you have in the freezer, I'm sure it'll be fine. Kim says the pattern I'm doing is a snowman on red truck. It will be 5x9 finish, working on a 14 count 8. Oh, I bet that'll be cute, Kim. Alright, what are we going to put next to Halloween? Hang on, I'm diving back into the box again. Yeah. You'll listen to me grunt as I bend over, sorry. I'm getting old, you know. Oh no, that already has yellow on the other side. We won't do that. Pink? Is that big enough? No, too much pink already. What do I feel like? Bricks. Okay, that'll work. Long enough. There we go. Siobhan, are you still stitching on your Ambilight? It was looking pretty when I was watching your live yesterday. There's such nice colors in that. Okay, I need a little bitty something on there, and we'll press that back. Ugh. Maybe that little yellow piece I just had. Hold on. This is pretty much how I do these blocks. Does that fit? Is it long enough? Okay. And I try not to have like the same color. You know, not two pinks or whatever. But that's just me. If you want to have the same color, go for it. Depending on your theme, of course. Kim got it from a local cross-stitch shop. The Ada is pale blue with what looks like clouds. Oh, that'll be pretty. I'm stitching a little angel on dark blue 14 count Ada, and it is really hard to see. I don't think my eyes are all that great anymore. I'm getting new glasses though. Probably not till next month, but it's in the works. So that might help. Although my close-up vision is not that bad. I've pretty much had glasses since I was 12 so that I could like see the board at school and, you know, not trip off the curb and get hit by cars and things like that. But now that I've got older, these are my third progressives. But lately, when I've been doing stitching or reading or whatever, I just take them off. Okay, I'm pressing these bricks. Give me one sec. What time are we at here? 8:53. Okay, I'm doing good. I want to show you guys what I mean about the, oh, hang on, we're stuttering again. Okay, see what I mean about the little teeny piece? I am going to cover that. I will trim this down. By the time I trim it down, it probably won't matter, but for the sake of argument, I'm doing it. Okay, and we're juddering again. Oh, whatever. Okay, a teeny piece for that, and something to put next to the carrots on this one. Hold on, let's be still for a second because it doesn't like it when I move around. Okay, so we'll leave that there. Oh, I am probably just being paranoid about that little corner. But the last thing I want is to go to put blocks together and go, oh, blah, there's a missing spot. So, let's see here. What do we got? Some random little something is what I'm looking for here. Ooh, a tiny little piece of red. That will do. It's next to bricks, but that's okay. It likely is not going to matter, but we'll see. If a little bit of red shows, that's okay too. Allison says, cute fabrics, Kelly. Thank you. I've had this bag and the 2 boxes sitting in my craft room for years and years. Ever since I went to class and did that star, I think I showed you guys a long time ago. You make these blocks half. Some of them are all dark, some of them are all light, and some of them are half light, half dark. And then you arrange it into a big star. It looks really cool. So when I did that, that's when I started having all the strips. And I just, you know, take up trimmings and go, oh, that looks like a good enough strip. Throw it in the bag. That would be really cool to do as a Christmas quilt. You probably could, if you were artistic enough, draw it up and make a like a jack-o'-lantern for Halloween. I'm not that clever, but if people are clever enough to do that, that would be really cool. Lisa P says, scrappiness is fun, but can become a little frustrating. Still, here we are, rummaging through our scrap stash, right? And I have a little random bin. I showed you guys before when I make the crumb blocks. That's just for little bits of whatnot that aren't really a strip. You know what I mean? Okay. This over here. Oh, I already have gray on one corner of the other ones I haven't trimmed yet. Oh well, that's okay. When I want to just mindlessly sew, then I get out the crumb stuff and just piece a bunch and press it and trim it, and then I have a stash going. I probably should do that again, because the last crumb blocks I made, I used it to make that bench blanket for us to take camping. Works great, because you know, picnic benches at campgrounds, the sit on the hardwood gets a little sore on your behind, so we always bring along a blanket. And then I made it, oh, I forget how big it is. It's, I don't know, 5 feet long maybe? I can't remember. I did a video of it, May, maybe? I forget. But yeah, we used it when we went camping in the summer. It was great. And I have a few friends that like to camp, so I thought, well, I was making crumb blocks. I can make another one. I just don't have a lot of batting, so I probably have to like purchase some just to have a big enough piece. Lisa says, Kelly, you are that talented. Give yourself the credit. Girl, I've watched you. Thank you, Lisa. I'm just not arty, I guess. I don't know. Well, maybe I'll give it a shot, because I like to have a visual, and I have some graph paper, and that's how I kind of draw things out. Like a couple years ago when I did that Sudoku quilt for my dad, that's what I did. I got out my pencil crayons, or as my American friends call them, colored pencils, whatever, and I just drew it out. This is what I want it to look like, kinda. Now how do I do that? And then I just sort of went from there and went, well, if I make the colored squares this size, then I have to use the sashing for the middle this size, and then I have to use the sashing between the whole thing this size. So it worked out. I wasn't sure, but it worked out. Okay, oh, we're frozen again. Come on. I don't know. I need something next to this. Blue, maybe. How about this grunge? That's probably a little too fat, because then I'll get, just a second here. Meh, I don't like it. I don't like it. We'll use this print instead, this little blue and pink. It's kind of fun going along through here and like, oh, I remember that quilt. I remember that. I remember doing that. Reminiscing of old projects. That little Halloween runner I did with the pale green fabric that had the pumpkins and the crows on it, and then I made the coasters. I gave it to my friend when we went, a couple weeks ago we were at her hubby's 60th birthday bash, and I made it for her and gave it to her, and she loved it. I meant to. Yeah, I've been remiss. I meant to put a picture of us all on my community page from that party. I'll try to remember to do that. What I was going to do, though, actually, is next Saturday, the 25th, we're going to a Halloween party at another friend's house. Those people for that's 60th. It's a small town. There might be 100,000 of us live here, but it's a small town. So we're all going to the same party. So I thought maybe I would get get somebody to take a picture of my husband and I, because my daughter is basically organizing this Halloween party with her buddies, and our son's coming along. So if somebody takes a picture of the four of us, I'm wearing my same costume. My son is wearing his same costume. My husband is going to change it up, and I don't know what my daughter's going to do. So maybe I'll do that, and I'll put both pictures on. We'll see. See how it goes. There might not be enough light. I mean, try to keep it kind of darker and spookier for a Halloween party, right? So there might not be enough light, but we'll see. Okay. Charlotte says she's eating some soup for dinner, not really in the mood for cooking. Yeah, sometimes we're not either. We just eat whatever leftovers are around. Allison says, I have 6 Girl Scout cookie tins filled with HST bits that I need to get arty with someday. Ooh, that sounds fun. Lisa says, coloring books and old cards magazines are good sources for copy trace. Yeah, that's true. Letting go of the need for perfection is so difficult. Yeah, I know. I get too picky about my own stuff, I think. And Lisa also says pumpkins aren't perfect. Just go for it. See, that's what you see about the coloring books. I've not done applique in ages. So maybe I need to figure out an applique project. I do have some. Like, you can find, like, free stuff online, too, and just download it and print it. I've done that before. But yeah, coloring books. That's a thought. This is really skinny, so I'm going to press it because it doesn't want to cooperate. Then Lisa's asking if Allison's ever tried a collage. I've seen they're breathtaking. I agree, Lisa. That looks like a ton of work, though. And I'm paranoid about little bitty pieces. I don't like little bitty pieces. See, here we go again with my dear friend Brenda, who loves little bitty pieces, so we're probably going to have to do some little... The border with the little people that she designed for our collab last year, I think they finished, like, the arms of the people finished up at, like, 3/8 of an inch or something. It was like, Brenda, what have you done to me? I have said over and over and over before in chat here on my own channel, I don't like fiddly. And that was fiddly. But I did it with my friends and I survived and it was okay. But do I want to do that again? Not particularly. Ooh. Plain old black. That's kind of boring. No, I don't know about that. What's this? Ooh, maybe this will work. A little bitty piece. What do we got here? Oh, no, that's not... No, shoot, that's too tiny. Hold on. Okay. What do we got here? Bear with me as I rummage. No, that's kind of cool, but it's going to be more like gray on the corners that I already have. How about this piece of, no, I don't like that either. Pink? This is the piece from the baby quilt I did. I'll do that. One of the ornaments I'm doing is using yellow fabric from that baby quilt, and I am making it for the recipients of with the new baby, right? Baby needs a Christmas ornament. Oh, she's a cutie pie. She was born July 19th, so what is she, 4 months old? They're, you know how babies just, when they start to like actually look around them and like recognize stuff, right? They're more alert. She was just like, oh, she's a darling little thing. She was at the birthday party because it was her grandpa that was turning 60, so. She's a cutie. Hi, Katie. How you doing? Thanks for coming. Allison's never attempted a quilt collage. Kim says, several years ago I bought coloring books from Bass Pro, traced pictures with transfer pencils, and put them on muslin to embroider. Made some nice quilt blocks. That is a great idea. Lisa says, exactly. Really think of the downloads. Telling him older without right? We're a certain age. Katie says, your sewing table seems lower than normal tables. It is, what's the main brand of it? I bought it from someplace in Alberta when I got my machine, and you have to tell them what model machine you have. So it's meant to be a bit lower so you're not doing this, right? So easy, so, yeah, something like that. I'm trying to see if there's a thing on it. And they give you, and they do the insert. So easy. Here we go. Can you see that if I put that up there? It's like a clear thing with. I can message you this, Katie, if you want me to. But if you guys can see that. It is www.sewezi.com. SEWEZI. So easy. Now sometimes I do take this out to the dining room table if I need more room, like if I'm sewing binding on or something, and then yes, I'm up here, right? But that's okay, it's only for a little while. Katie says, I was curious. Yeah, no worries, Katie. Happy to oblige. Alright, I think this will be good. Well, this is really stiff. I must have starched the bejeebers out of that baby fabric. Without realizing it. Oops, we got threads in here. That's my bad. I wasn't paying attention. Let's pick them out. Sometimes the tweezers come into play. Oh, there's the garbage man coming around. Ooh, it's getting really cloudy. Alright, we'll see if I go out or not. I'm not going all the way downtown in pounding rain and massive wind. It's not going to happen. A little bit of rain, whatever. I got my umbrella. It's fine. As my grandmother used to say, I'm not made of sugar. I won't melt. But if it gets too windy, which can definitely happen here, then there's no point in having an umbrella because the rain just blows in your face anyway. Okay, pressing this. Alrighty. That one's done. So this goes in the pile of hot mess to be trimmed up. Whoops. Little pieces all over the place. Now, what I've done is taken more papers and Sharpie line across them. I think I cut these at 8 inches. Hang on, let me look. I can't remember. When I trim... see, I do these all the time and I don't remember. So, hold on. Let's go over to my big ruler. Pardon me a second when you can't see me. Okay, the paper is cut 8 by 8. And I trim the blocks down to 7.5 by 7.5. Okay, make sense? So that's what they are. So they're finished at 7, right? And I have some pieces of white. One's plain, one has a little bit of a pattern on it. I don't know if you guys can see that. I just go through my white scrap and find stuff. And no, they're not all the same width. Some of them are 1.5. This one might be 1.25. I don't mind. It's okay to not have your white strip in the middle be the same size. But if you want them all the same size, do them all the same size. Up to you. I just like them a little bit more random than that. Okay. What time are we at here? 9:14. All right. Probably should finish up. I don't think I'm going to start another one because we're running out of time. Here, I will grab the hot mess pile. So, right? I mean, I am random. What do we got from back here? Oh, I did put a piece of pink on the corner of this one. But yeah, see, there's Christmas fabric in that one, that red sparkly one. What do we got here? This one's got Hawaiian fabric in it. Oh, come on, stop with the jittering, stupid thing. There we go. I don't know why it does that. I really don't. There must be some lag between my phone and my laptop, but I don't know what to do about that. I mean, I don't know. Maybe for lives I have to back my phone resolution off a bit. Maybe that'll help. I mean, I've got it at Ultra, which is like 4K. But I also want you guys to be able to see. So, I don't know. I don't know what the solution is. So, other than having to trim up a bunch of these, because these blocks are in WhipGo, the cross stitchers, although my WhipGo is whatever, these are another call for October. So aside from this live where I just made another couple and chatted with you guys, I'm going to take all these ones that are done, that are the right size right now. Hold on, we got to catch up here. Come on, phone. Yoo-hoo. Oh, maybe we're frozen. No, oh, no. Are we totally frozen now? That might be a thing. Yeah, it's not moving. Okay, so much for that. Alright, well, we're just gonna get rid of this then. Sorry, everybody. You get audio only for the last couple minutes. Alright, I'm calling it then. Since we're stuck. Yoo-hoo. Charlotte says she stopped with WhipGo, not really working for her. Yeah, I don't know. Nope. We're still good on the phone. Oh, cleared up. Oh, okay, maybe I was just too quick. All right, hang on. Let's try this before the phone decides to cack out totally and stop on me. Okay, all these ones that are 7.5. For my clip of for WhipGo for this, I'm going to start putting them up on the wall and try to find what I want to do. Maybe get an idea, take a picture on my phone, just go, this is a kind of a plan. I've got other stuff pinned up here, like ornaments I have to finish, and the pocket I want to finish making for the bag. But I can start at least and put these up and just kind of, I'm thinking like just like a zigzag kind of thing. I don't know. We'll see. I was thinking of filming it with my little camera because I can put that in fast motion, and then it won't be as long of a clip for one, and I'll just kind of, you know, play around on the wall and you guys can see me. We'll get there. Okay, alright. Allison says, I like to see what it's called, but then I keep on with what I'm working on. I do my own WhipGo. I found it pretty good so far this year. I don't mind it. It's, oh, here we go, freezing again. But next year I won't be doing it because I want to do that Where I Live stitch along thing that I was talking about. I still have that in the back of my mind. I just have to put all the projects on a letter somehow. But that I have not figured out yet. Alright, before this thing decides to die completely, and I apologize for all the juddering and everything going on, but I really don't know. I'm going to have to ask the Streamlabs people again. Hey, what's with this? Maybe there's some optimal resolution that you should be using that, I don't know. Whatever. Okay. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining me for my fiddling around with my string blocks. And I will see you off and on the weekend and future in 2 weeks on Halloween. Fingers crossed. I have an idea to do a Halloween project. I think I told you guys that last time. I have to get back the graph paper and my pencil crayons and figure it out. Because I'm going to make it square. So I have an idea. I just have to implement it and figure my measurements. And thank you, Allison. Have a lovely weekend. Kim says, bye all. Have a wonderful, blessed day. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Once again, I do appreciate chatting with my friends every couple of weeks. Even if my tech problems are not 100% solved. But, well, we'll get there. If I don't chat with you guys, I miss you. So, I do the best I can. Thanks, everybody.